Once upon a time, there was a great hero who wanted to save this princess trapped in a giant castle. The hero's name, let's say, was Yu. So Yu wanted to go there and be Ganondorf or Bowser, I don't know, and rescue the princess. But unfortunately for the princess, Yu wanted to deviate a little bit from the path and watch some videos on YouTube about how to not to procrastinate first. So instead of doing the things Yu wanted and should be doing, Yu decided to just procrastinate, learning how to not to procrastinate. How stupid of you, right? But then Yu encountered this very handsome and wise sage who read a single scientific paper on how to help Yu stop getting distracted and actually gain some focus for once in Yu's life. And the paper goes like this. First, the authors differentiate what makes a goal-driven behavior, which tends to be more associated with an internal drive directed towards an object or specific situation in the environment, therefore being controlled by what is called top-down control of the brain. First, you think, then you act. First, you plan, then you apply. Then there is a stimulus driven, which depends first on these environmental and situations of the outside world influencing our internal thoughts, attention, and other cognitive functions, or even just immediate actions and reactions that we can have. And this is the bottom-up control of the brain. An example of top-down control would be resisting distractions that you have in your surroundings to focus on that thing that your brain set yourself to do. That is, first what you think and determine inside, then that which is happening outside. An example of bottom-up control would be setting this environment all around you in order to get the behaviors you want in this specific task. For example, being on a gym to getting more motivated to work out on yourself, and so on. But the question for the authors is to know how these two types of control interact with each other. After all, it is difficult to know when a thought came from yourself because that's what you wanted to think of, and how much of those thoughts are just reactions to the environment you are living in. So with this, they set up two groups to make an experiment. One group that would be sporadically receiving distractions and would therefore need to learn how to suppress the distractions that would randomly happen. And on the other group, they were actively receiving distractions. That is, the distractions were there all the time. So they will need to learn how to ignore these distractions to complete the task they were set to do. So in the first group, the distractions were random, and they had to learn how to deal with the unpredictable. In the second group, the distractions were constant, and they had to learn how to deal with the surrounding noise. The task in this case was to just look at a screen and identify a line inside a green circle. The distraction was just a red diamond appearing among those lines. In the first group, it was random. It could appear, it could not appear. But in the second one, it was always there and could disturb the reaction time, therefore. And what did they find out? Well, if the participants were seeing the red diamond all the time, like in the second group, they would learn to ignore it. If the distraction changed colors or appeared by surprise, as in the first group, although it was initially harder to ignore, with time it became less of a distraction. So in the first group, they really got to learn or to become accustomed with the random distractions and keep doing the tasks they were set to do. In the second group, the same happens, but this time they were ignoring the constant distractions. And what does this mean? That apparently we have in ourselves both of these types of influences within. Yes, the external environment can become distractful, but with time, if you get to know that you are or will get distracted, you can overlap the external through this internal determination. If you train enough and know that you will be distracted, you can learn to focus without letting, in this case, the red diamond, distract you. If you just keep it in your mind that you will be distracted, you actually get distracted less. And this is actually the first lesson that we can learn from this experiment. And this is actually the first lesson that we can learn from this experiment. If you keep it in your mind that you will be distracted, you actually get distracted less. Remembering that you will become distracted, that is. If you just put this mental effort of remembering this, it can help you to become more focused. And the reason for this is what I call cognitive exaptation. When we're doing things and our minds begin to rumble, we start to think about everything and anything at the same time. And if in our own heads we start doing this, it is only a matter of time for that which is happening inside us become that which is also happening outside. In Egyptian knowledge, this is what the Hermetics called correspondence. The things that we have and that are happening in our heads manifest themselves in and through our physical bodies. So if your mind gets distracted, your body will start doing the same. There's no way that it cannot. Because of this, if you remember in your mind that you're getting distracted and not simply need to focus, but rather you becoming distracted, then according to scientific data, you will become more focused and more resilient to those distractions that you are having. But at the same time, we cannot ignore how much influence this external world can really deviate us from the paths we want to take. After all, the subjects of the experiment took some time before they were able to avoid the outside influences, which led us to the second lesson here. That at the end of the day, this external world has some impact on us as well. But what would happen if we use these to our advantage? For example, what if you write down a note that you're getting distracted? Either next to your monitor, your notebook, your cell phone, your fridge, even at the face of someone that lives in your home. Because the mind is also very influenced by this environment that we live in, therefore, in the same way this environment can get us distracted, we can change our surroundings to get us to not do that. If you change this environment to help you understand or just remember this, you can gain some more focus as well. Even though it can also help you to go to a specific place like a library, your university, and so on, doing this can also be a cost for some. So I would recommend some more simpler ways of doing just that. For example, you can start by cleaning your browser, cleaning your desktop, downloading extensions that will help you to clean your YouTube homepage, clean your Instagram homepage, your Twitter, and so on. You can start changing your computer, your cell phone, and this whole virtual space or virtual environment that you have to help you with whatever you want to be focused on. This is something that I do myself. So every time that I see my YouTube homepage without any videos or channels, I don't spend 10 hours straight watching random videos that I don't really want to watch all that much. If I want to watch something, I will look for it. And with this, I spend more time doing those things that I really want to be doing. So change your environment to change your mind. And the third and last lesson is that you will never procrastinate again if you don't do anything, right? So think about these things you want to achieve and just forget about it. Just stop doing what you think you have to do. You don't actually have to do any of those things. Just stop. And with this, you will never procrastinate anymore. Simple as that. So yeah, you might just think that this is a joke, but I'm actually very serious. Because it is also the topic of my next video, in which I'll talk more about how to do and to achieve the things you want in life. Sometimes I also require actually not doing or nor achieving that, and how this can become the path you need to take to do and to achieve then at the end of the day. For now, if you want a more personal care for your distraction problems, you can book a session with me using the link in the description, and I can help you with a therapeutic consultation. And that's it. Like, subscribe, make a comment, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.